Look at us crossing paths once again. So, today I have a challenge. I want you to think of an emotion that produces a very profound effect within you when you experience it. So, this may be a physical reaction, it may be a thought process, it may be just some sort of feeling, anything that triggers something big. More specifically, let's try to focus on something negative. I know we all may experience other emotions, but if you have an emotion and that emotion is a positive one, the same thing applies. So, now that we've done that, I want you to think of all the many scenarios that you can go through and experience that will elicit this emotional reaction. Take a minute to pause. When we think about that, there is a key component here to experiencing deeply moving emotions on such a consistent level. What that means is that within your mind, within your being, and within your cells, you have created a home for this emotion to be able to be. So, what does that mean? Um, your subconscious mind has a lot of influence over your day to day actions, thoughts, and behaviors. I will insert a picture about just different sorts of emotions and how they relate to your being. That being said, when you make a home of something inside of you, you create that space for it to come inside of you and habitate within you so that it can continue to live over and over and over and over and over again. Now, when we think about that, I know we all can think of so many emotions. We may have joy, we may have sadness, we may have grief, and I want you to get really down and dirty with it. Like some of us may experience emotions that we've never experienced before. For instance, when I experienced the sensation of jealousy as an adult, I was thoroughly confused by what it was that I was experiencing. Why did I feel this way? Why was I jealous? That was a sign that my subconscious mind was showing me something that I was not tending to. It's almost like a corner of your house that you don't clean. So when we think about what we make home for, what we make space for within our being, you want to make sure that you have control over that. I challenge you to break away the parameters that build this home within you. So what does this mean? I'm going to use me for an example. When I was experiencing jealousy, the foundation of it was centered around me observing people who were close to me who had some level of like stability, or they were able to allow things to flow, like they were able to not take things personally and things like that. Those things had me feeling like I was inadequate. So inadequacy was a main foundational attribute to the home that I created to inhabit this emotional response that kept coming over and over and over again, right? Fast forward. What does that mean for you? Um, Let me tell you a story now. I recently sat there and I was scrolling through social media and I said to myself, oh my gosh, like how amazing is it that some people can create an entire brand off of their name? You know, like we all know someone, we can name someone who's created a brand off of their name. You know, so many companies can create a brand off of their name. That is a powerful, powerful move. I think that that was very powerful. And I thought to myself, wow, like my name doesn't ring. It doesn't like have a ring to it. Why am I focusing on the fact that their names can ring and mine don't? Well, that meant something to me, and I had to see what came with that. So shortly after I hosted a yoga class, and the turnout exceeded my expectations. I realized that when I was creating all of my marketing material, I kept saying facilitated by Lindsay V. Facilitated by Lindsay V. To facilitate means to make a process easy. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm gathering people. I want you to come and experience a facilitation by Lindsay V. It's a Lindsay V experience. And so then I realized, hold up, it does have a ring. I just had to see it first. I had to be able to acknowledge it, to witness it, to be able to hold space for that magnificence within me. So now I've torn down one house that was harboring an emotion that I don't want to make a home inside of me. I'm not saying that I won't ever experience a negative emotion, but what I want is for those walls to be permeable. I want for that to just slide on through, witness it, watch it flow, and let it be. Because it's not a part of me. But what I do want to create a home for is my greatness and the perception of that. So, because that's the big part of me. That's the biggest me. This leads me to the point of when I was saying sometimes you have to be delusional to manifest something. And by delusion, I mean you're seeing something that you don't really see present, but you feel it. You know it's there because it's there at some point in time. It may not be there in the present entirely how you feel it to be, but it's there. So, when you think about creating a home inside of yourself for a positive emotion to be experienced, you have to understand what sort of walls, what sort of parameters, what is the foundation of what it is that you want to experience. So for me to walk into my greatness, I had to one, eliminate negative self-talk. So there had to be some sort of boundary there to prevent that from being able to override all of the things in my mind that knew that I was great. I had to shut it the fuck up. Two, I also had to reinforce certain foundations within me that made me realize that what I was perceiving about myself was in actuality. It was a fact. So I had to assess myself. I studied myself. I watched the way that I move. This is why I say study your weaknesses. From there, you'll know how to reinforce the boundaries that protect or preserve, excuse me, the foundation that you are establishing to create a space within you. And finally, you must remain present within the positive illusion that you are exactly who you say you are, especially if you allow negative self talk to override the higher thinking, the higher you, your higher being. That's my message for today, and I hope it hit you well. You have a lovely day. Peace.